Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Right, now, before I even start, I'm going to have a drink of wine because I've had a look at some of the comments and tonight is going to be trouble and I'm going to need this. And you might too. But a very warm welcome to Thursday Night Live. And with me, oh, and I'm going to be coming into your eyes and ears directly from Windy Bottom here in the Peak District National Park. It was a bit of a rush again tonight, I'm afraid. Hang on. Right, it is of course Thursday night, so there are no set features, no set agenda. We'll just see where we go. So strap in, my darlings, for an hour of God knows what. Right, let's dive in and see how we go. Oh, before I forget, two things I did want to mention just quickly before the madness starts. I've forgotten what they are. Three things. There are three things. Fanatical devotion to the Pope. Right. Yeah, three things I need to mention to you. Number one is, I haven't done the video yet, but if you haven't got one of these things, then you really, really need one. I'll go through it in due course. I'm sure you all know what they're all about. It's brilliant, and the most important thing is it charges bigger things than phones, right? So those of you who charge stuff in your car on an emergency basis from the cigar lighter, you will know probably that you can't charge an iPad, right? Well, with that thing you can. And if it'll charge an iPad, it'll probably charge laptops and all sorts of other things. And it starts cars, as you know. That's kind of the primary function. If you haven't got one, you should probably have one. And I've negotiated a 5% discount for you when you go onto their doings. And just quote the code Boaty5. Right, that was one thing I needed to tell you. The other thing was, right, any of you who've had Momo or are thinking of having Momo, I can now sell you the chutney chutney, you can get the authentic Momo chutney to go with them. It'll come frozen like the Momos, so just let it defrost in the fridge overnight or whatever, or just, well, defrost however the hell you want to. Put it into a little cup of warm water if you like. I don't care how you defrost it. You can ping it in the microwave. That's perfectly safe and easy to do. The chutney should be served at room temperature. Not chilled, needs to be at room temperature ideally. But it'll come frozen in 5 separate portions. And those 5 portions between them will cover all of your 15 Momo. But I've broken them down into 5 separate portions because obviously they're frozen and you don't want a big block of frozen that and you have to then defrost all of it. And then you've got to eat 50 Momo before, in the next week. It'll last for about a week in the fridge. So if it's portion frozen, then it's a big portion. It'll easily cover 10 Momo if you're a pig like me, or 5 Momo each if you're having them as a starter or a snack or a lunch or whatever. And those 5 portions are going to be a tenner. So you can get 50 Momo with the Momo chutney for 30 quid. Frozen, bang them in your freezer, and, well, they're fabulous. You're probably fed up with me telling you that. So that was oh yeah, and the other thing I needed to tell you is I've been approached by a few people, channel members, bless them, who have asked, can they have some content to which they get advance access? And what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to do a really short daily diary. Won't be long, couple of minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Just of bits and pieces during the day that that are likely to be of interest. I was going to do the first one today, but my neighbour started talking to me and he wanted me to film his car, which was fine. I would have happily done that, but he wanted to clean it and get it ready, and he was cleaning all of the engine bay. And that took him about 3 hours, by which time I'd gone to work. So that little film didn't happen, but it's been quite interesting today. I've had a shift around the cars. I've started doing a detailed internal valet on Betty Blue, fitting some bits that I got from Graham. Oh God, Minge Bag is looking fantabulous. Wetleg is back in, and Betty Blue is in pole position. Wetleg, I've just had a bit of a swap around because I want the MGFs to be top and tailing me, or FTF, So Wetty's in the pits, Minge Bag is in pole position. I think they're going to stay like that, and I'll just have to walk down the road a bit for the Arthur. So there was stuff like that. Anyway, there were bits and pieces of interest I'm going to film. I'll put them out daily, only very short, but they will be channel members only, and then I'll put them into a weekly diary digest, which will be for everybody. So you're not going to miss out by not being a channel member. You will see it. It'll just be you'll see it as a weekly lump, like the Archers omnibus on a Sunday morning. Whereas channel members, as a little thank you for the continued support, we'll get to see them on the day. Right, that was it. That was the 3 things I wanted to tell you. Right, let's dive into it. Cheeseburger's on one. Cheeseburger is on one. This topic has no relation to anybody past or present. All connections are coincidental. Oh God, here we go. Oh God, I'm not going to cope with this. God above. Oh, tonight is not going to go. Right, gird your loins, you lot. Pull yourself together, Boaty. Here we go. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Our hero... Right, come on. Our hero is Captain Hubcunt. Hubby had a workshop close to the fields in Wales. He stares longingly at the field full of sheep next door. What? I'm not having this. I'm Welsh, remember? One day his dreams came true. Dolly the Rotbox was presented at his workshop. She was a Citroen beyond repair. The chassis rails were completely through. A rusty trombone was the only solution. Oh God. Sweaty was in need of repair. Hubby was unable to help, but suggested an inspection of the back seat. Sweaty Betty was soon busy, but Ho picked over to view the beige leather interior and helped out. Oh Christ. I'm going to get sued. I'm going to get sued for this. The Matiz was looking lonely and Hubby wanted to give it a boost. Amy Myrtle was a TV star in the 1970s, featuring on a soap at a Midlands hotel. Hubby woke up with a sticky mess. Was it cork swap? Are we still going? Giselle had hydrostatic suspension. Hubby suggested they could take the rear wheels off and keep level, but her back doors were closed. This is outrageous. The three-wheeler was stuck in the garage. Hubby felt completely disabled when he was mounted. At the height of the moment, he shouted, "Tuck!" Oh God. And then we have, of course we have, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? We have a new member of the community, Hubcunt, who says, "Good evening, all." Oh, Jesus. Drink. It's the only answer to this sort of outrageous stuff. Steve Colk is amongst us. Good evening to you. Joe Cox is here and says, "Good evening. All. I hope you're all well." That's very nice. That's all encompassing. Good evening to you. And Ben, I'm nailing this. I'm all over it like a all over it type thing. Oracy. That's the word of the day, isn't it? Who's been listening to the news? Oracy. Sounds a bit like orifice. Excuse me. I sincerely hope, says Ben, Sir Botalot sees all of the above hubfurdling. I think he's going to need oxygen to bring him out of a paroxysm of giddy hilarity. Yes, basically. And Ben goes on to say, "Chapeau, General Cheeseburger, chapeau." And if you're not familiar with that phrase, and it's one that I use both in print and in person a lot, chapeau is literally the French word for hat. But in French colloquial speak, chapeau means taking your hat off to somebody. So if somebody does something amazing that's really worthy of awe and respect, you would say chapeau, meaning hats off to you, sir, or madam. And I agree. Chapeau, Cheeseburger. That was quite superb. And I shall enjoy the memory of laughing at it when I am sued by a certain Welsh dwelling YouTuber. Can I just say, I wish to disassociate myself entirely from any comments that are made in this live stream that I just happen to read out. I'm just a conduit. Sue them, not me. God. Oh dear. Oh, God above. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's getting worse. Right, my son is here, son of Boaty. Hello, Daddy, hope you are well. Well, he's being nice, isn't he, at the moment? But it'll only be about 3 minutes before he starts in on me for something or other. He called me everything under the sun last night, accused me of being a drunk, an absent father, a bloody fleeing sperm donor. Oh, God. Barry's here and says, good evening, everyone, which is lovely. Hooked on Classics, the lovely Simone is amongst us, and jolly good evening to you. Simon of currently of Project MGTF, that may be possibly changing in the not too distant future. Evening, people of the virtual realm, says Simon. I'm sure at least most of you exist. Not sure about Simone though. Well, you've met her, you've been in a car with her, you've recorded with her. Of all the people to doubt, Simone shouldn't be the one. I don't think Cheeseburger exists. I think that he's a fevered anxiety dream that I and possibly some of you are having. In fact, I've got my doubts about a lot of you, quite frankly. I mean, whether you actually exist or not, I'm really glad you're there, because you brighten my life up on a daily basis. And I mean that sincerely. And for once, I'm not faking sincerity. You genuinely do. You make me laugh, you make me feel that I'm never alone, and, God bless each and every one of you. God bless us, everyone. Somebody put Tiny Tim on the fire and roast him. You boy, what bin is it going out today? My green bin went out today. It was exceptionally heavy because my gardeners came on Tuesday. And it was emptied this morning, quite correctly. And then the wind blew it over into Miss Boo's near side mirror that I had fixed and unfixed it. So it's now all floppy woppy. And I'm going to have to fix it again. That's on. That's a job for tomorrow, is that? Simon says, General Cheeseburger, laugh out loud. What an intro. I agree. And then goes on to ask how everybody is, which is nice. Oh, God. I can't keep saying hub cunt. You're going to get me into trouble. I can't keep doing it. I got away with it last night. I'm not going to get away with it forever. And it's going to be massively affected. I mean, the chances of Ian or Carly ever seeing anything that I do are so slim as to be non-existent. But people talk, and there are spies everywhere. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if some slimy little bastard happened to watch one of these and then went reporting back to the lovely Ian and Carly saying, there's a fat bloke with no teeth taking the piss out of you and calling you a see you next Tuesday, which I'm not. Ian, if you ever watch this, they're just having a bit of fun. They're all loyal subscribers of yours. I'm sure you're a lovely guy. I'd love to meet you and allow you to buy me several bottles of wine. You're going to get me into it. What can I say instead of that word? Hub. Oh, God. Okay, well, there are 2 asterisks in it. So let's pretend there's something else. So, hub cant. A canted hub. Hub cant. And Hub Cant says, very good Cheeseburger. And Cheeseburger says, sorry for the typos, I didn't have my glasses with me. I worked around them, mate, don't worry. That was brilliant. And if any of you lot want to write anything like that, then it would be a dream come true for me, because I could end up like Wogan, who used to just appear on the radio of a morning, eat whatever he could lay his hands on, and read out incredibly funny stuff that other people wrote and sent in to him. And most of it was me. a lot of what Wogan read out I actually wrote, along with lots and lots of very clever and very funny other people. And where Wogan was a genius, you know, not only did he earn whatever it was, £1 million a year or something from the BBC for sitting, eating pies and reading out stuff that I and others wrote, he then put it into books and sold it back to us. And I bought them, admittedly, from charity shops. I never bought one new, although various female partners bought them for me. I mean, that has got to be the ultimate genius. You get somebody else to write your scripts, and then you put them all into a book and sell them back to them, their own words. So I'd love to do that. That would be my ultimate dream. If Simon wrote his haikus, and Cheeseburger comes up with stuff like that, and the rest of you all come up with genius stuff like that, send it to me. I'll read it out. I'll get loads and loads of subscribers because it's brilliant. And they'll all send me lovely super thanks and super chats, and they'll become channel members, and I'll become really wealthy. And then I'll put it all into books, and I'll make you buy all of your own shit. Oh dear. Hubby is a stud, says Cheeseburger. Well, he certainly is, isn't he? Neil Gibbons is amongst us and says evening all. Simon says, is my stream broken or is he late? I wasn't late. Well, I might have been 30 seconds late because I didn't get through the door until 3 minutes to, but I wasn't late. You know, I wasn't even fashionably late, let alone late. Maybe your stream is broken. Oh, here we go. And Hubcant says, I'm not reading that out. No, I'm not reading. No, seriously. No, I'm just not. I'm not reading that out. That's that's an offensive term, and she's lovely. No, I don't exist at all, says Simone. And Hubcant says, who are you? Cheeseburger says, evening, Simone. Oh, good evening all, says Bad Books, who I know for an absolute fact is definitely 100% not called Steve. And don't believe anybody who tells you that he is. He is Mark something. I only know Mark 5. Cheeseburger is Mark 5. The rest of you will have to choose which Mark you want to be. Somebody should be a Mark 1 Lotus Cortina. That would be quite cool. Simon says, oh, good at haiku. Thursday haiku. This is brilliant. Right, pin your luggles. Fuck doing haiku. I really cannot be asked. Oh no, I've done one, which is very clever. Matt is here. Underscore. Or, as he's known at the restaurant, the Long Man. He genuinely is. Where is the Long Man? We have not seen him for a long time. They said that last night, actually. Anyway, Matt is still watching Robson Rover Repair's latest upload. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I knew it, says Simon. I passed out in a car at the NEC. That's in relation to Simone not existing. No, I'm not reading that, Barry. I'm in enough trouble as it is with the lovely Ian. I'm going to have to issue written apologies for all of this shit. In preparation for tonight's stream, says Simon, I've dyed my hair, as you were. Oh, right. Cheeseburger says, I've been on the beer at the cricket Boaty. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. No, I don't think you've offended anyone, Cheeseburger. I think we all think you're a genius and hilarious. If anybody shows this to a certain South Walian couple, one of whom is actually Welsh, then they will be offended. They will be incredibly offended. But you're on safe ground here, darling. Darling? I've just called you darling. Oh, what the hell. It's Thursday. Anything goes on a Thursday. Unboxing fail, say Simon. Not a total fail. I recorded it on a video. I don't own an iPad, say Simone. My eyes are fine. The lovely Trisha Alderman is with us and has retracted 2 messages. I don't trust Top Don, says Simon. He didn't get where he is today by helping the other lower dons. God. Mr. Momo's Momo snack boxes. Oh no, it's my Momo. Members only videos, Mr. Boaty. What about the free cake at shows you promised? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Okay, I will bring cake to the next show, and that is a promise. Hold me to it. I'm never going to another show. I will definitely 100% bring lovely cake to the next show. Oh yeah. Oh God, there's a Project Nigel thing coming up, isn't there? And the lovely Jake has asked me to go to another one, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try because, well, it's Jake, and he and his dad are absolutely lovely, and they've asked me to do it, and yeah, gosh, I'm going to have to buy a cake, aren't I? I'm not making it. I don't make cakes. The artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty made cakes. Boo made amazing cakes, so good that she sold them. She had a little business making cakes. The most amazing things. I will be buying one from Lidl. Not personally, I wouldn't go into Lidl. I wouldn't want anybody thinking I was working class. I will send somebody into Lidl. No, I won't. I'll buy it from Sainsbury's. But I will bring you cake. I will bring you cake, I promise. And you will get some video and other stuff when I think about it or can be asked to do it. General Cheeseburger, says Simon. You realise what you've done is put him 45 minutes behind the comments before he's even started. Yes, good point. It's all Cheeseburger's fault. Oh, hello. Mustard is here, or was here, and says, fuck yeah. He's probably gone now. He only ever pops in for 2 minutes. He does that with loads of people. So he can say, yeah, I watched your live stream. Yeah, I watched your video. He watches for about 1.7 seconds, leaves a comment, and then fucks off. Because he's got something better to do. That's Mustard for you. Bless him. I do love him. I don't know if you saw it, but I put a short out today, the first of what's going to be a little series of, oh God, going back to last winter, when Mustard and I sat in the car to try and keep warm and ended up doing impersonations of YouTube channels. And I put the first one up today. Oh God, it made me laugh. I've got the rest of the video, and I'll stick whatever other ones up that I can think of. And oh, there's a non-feature, right? Getting you to do my job for me. Obviously, I'm going through back catalogue of videos to find any really funny moments that deserve to go on a short, so they can be more easily seen by people who haven't seen them before, and can be more easily found by, not least, myself, because I love watching the really funny things. So, if there is a favourite moment of me and Mustard of one of my videos that you remember you found really funny, and you think should go on a short all on its own, let me know and I will do it. Tracy will have some. I bet you Tracy will have some. Tracy makes clips and everything. So does Simon. He's brilliant like that. Not just for me. He is like the ultimate community member. He pushes his own stuff, quite rightly, but he pushes everybody else as well, which is lovely. As does Matt, and as do some other people. Right. I won't be able to cope, says Ben. We're counting on that, talking about me, of course. Mustard says, is this Hubnut talk? And then immediately says, yes, it is. I feel sorry for poor little hubby, says Mustard. I do as well. I feel even sorrier for me. I'm the one that's going to get sued. I got in enough trouble with Joseph Lloyd. I don't need Hubnut coming after me as well. I'm going to be hunted down thanks to you lot. And they're all sensible, right? Hands up, who knows where Ian Hubnut lives? Hands up. Anybody? No. Actually, Pingu might. Actually, no, I bet he doesn't. He might know where his unit is. I bet he doesn't know where he lives. Who knows where Joseph Lloyd lives? Nobody. Who knows where Mustard lives? Nobody. Who knows where Matt Furious Driving lives? Nobody. Who knows where JM lives? Mustard does, actually. But otherwise, nobody. Who knows where I live? Everybody. Everybody knows where I live. And I'm going to have all of these very, very angry YouTubers that you lot are ripping the piss out of, and they're all going to tramp up to Windy Bum carrying pitchforks, and they're going to have my arse on toast. That's what's going to happen, and I'm going to live stream it. Make you all suffer, or laugh. Probably laugh knowing you lot. Oh God. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Hub can't equals mark number 2238. That's from Simon. Arsehole. And then Simon says, you look like a conduit. Cheeseburger says, I've forgotten more than I typed. Foxanne was recently painted. Hubby bent her over the bonnet and put out the red light. Oh, God. Foxanne. Isn't that the one he sold? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Got her own channel now, I think. Empty your conduit, says Mustard. And then Cheeseburger says, Mustard, you need to watch Last Night for context. Oh, there's context. Steakold says, how old is your son? Well, I haven't got a bloody clue. I didn't know he existed until he appeared on a live stream last night, or the night before, whenever it was. Not a clue. Judging from the way that he abuses me and appears to have in-depth knowledge of all of my bad habits, I'd suggest he's about 3. Cheeseburger says, I do exist. He insists on that. Simon says, I've seen Cheeseburger. He was on McDonald's adverts in the 80s. Oh, Mike's here. Classic Wheels Wells. Hello, humans. Hello, Jason. Yeah, I'm obviously I'm not human. It's a good job I don't have feelings, isn't it? How you doing, Mike? Hope everything's good. Hope you're well. Hubcon says, hello, Mustard. Oh, and Mike says, Boaty, are you going to Gaydon on Sunday? No. No, I'm not. I'd love to go to all of these places, but I work at weekends and I can't get to them. I'm too tired to get up early because I was working until... Mike, you know what it's like. You've owned restaurants. You work until daft o'clock after Saturday service, and then you have a drink and chill out and eat. You don't get to bed until 3 o'clock. You're half pissed or fully pissed when you do get to bed. The last thing you want to be doing is getting up at 6 o'clock, 3 hours later, half pissed, half hungover, and driving to wherever Gaydon is, Warwickshire, isn't it? And even if I did, by the time I got there, I'd have to come straight back, so I've got to get back to the restaurant again. When this channel really takes off, which will be, in a fevered anxiety dream of mine, obviously, then, I'll go part-time and at the restaurant, or I'll employ people. And that will free me up to come and do all of these things. I'm genuinely jealous of you lot, all of the weekend stuff. And I know I was very much on record as talking a load of chatting pure breeze, bro. Chatting breeze about the shows and whatnot. I did enjoy the one that I went to, and if I wasn't working, I'd be at all of them. I genuinely would. But it's trying to combine them with, and I just can't afford to take those days off, even if I had somebody to replace me. So, no, I'm not going to be at Gaydon, sadly, but, oh well, there we are. Maybe things will change. Oh, Simon says, say Hub couldn't instead. Yeah. Might be slightly less offensive. Barry says, I don't sub to Hubnut. Which, well, you're one of the few then, aren't you? I do, I'll admit it. I don't watch any of the videos now, but I'm still a subscriber. Actually, that's a lie. I watched about 3 minutes of a video where he was squirting stuff into a Renault, and not in a cheeseburger way. Mustard said he won't watch this. Well, under normal circumstances, Mustard, of course he wouldn't. But if somebody goes sneaking to him and says, you want to watch this, there's a channel that all they do is chat shit about you and it's really rude and you should sue him or beat him up or sit on his head or something, then he might watch it. No, I totally agree with this, says Cheeseburger. I totally agree with what Cheeseburger said here. I think we need to keep the words away from Carly and the kids. 100% agree. 100%. Like I said before, you know, mafia rules. You don't touch the family, only the chap. And yeah, 100% agree. I've said it before when people have passed comments, and you know, let's keep it. And we're not being overtly offensive. We're well, you know, we're joking. It's male banter, joking. It might go a little over the line sometimes, but that's what it is. You know, he's got an amazingly successful channel. All of us who've got channels are jealous of him because he's bigger than we will probably ever be. And it's just good-natured banter. But it's male good-natured banter, and we certainly shouldn't be bringing wives and kids into it. So there we are. Some good perks, says Matt, with becoming a member of Robson Rover Repairs channel. Okay. And my son says, Daddy, stop saying cunt. I'll do that, son. I won't say it again. Right, Simone says Mark 3, but you're not a Mark, so that doesn't count. Twunt is an interesting combo, says Liz, and not in the naughty list. Good point. Hub twunt. Well, no, but that's still offensive. That's still offensive to Ian, isn't it? God. And now I'm being told off by my alleged son for not calling him darling when I called Cheeseburger darling. Simone had a knackering day. Oh, Mustard says, still here, you twat. And then Simon says, Mustard only pops in for 2 minutes. That's what she said. I'm not reading that, Jimmy. Oh, Penelope Shitstop says, hello, Shitstop is here. How did he get away with having that as a username? Steve Cole says, on a farm. Not sure about that. Matt says, only share bits now. A few people commented on your post about spam, saying they didn't appreciate my sharing of random topics or other channels. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, Matt and anybody else, there weren't that many Facebook groups knocking about when I started mine. So I thought it would be nice if it was used as a community hub to help other channels and whatnot. And, I was all in favour of that. But what has happened is everybody who's got a channel has now got a Facebook group, right? Rob's got one, Simon's got one, Mustard's got one, Simone's got one, everybody's got one. So the idea of a community thing has gone out of the window. And the problem is that if everybody shares all of their posts in everybody else's group, then we're probably all members of all the groups. So we're not seeing the post once, we're seeing it 6, 7, 8 times. And sometimes more when it's being posted by the channel owner and a lovely person like Matt who also posts it trying to help out. So then it gets double posted in every group and we see it 16 times. It's just too much. It's going to put people off every group. So I think it's probably better. I don't post any of my links now in anybody else's group. And I think it's probably just easier if we all do that. Now everybody's got a group. Just keep it to our own stuff, and then if you want some Boaty stuff, you can go into my group. If you want Mustard stuff, go to Mustard's group, etc, etc, etc. And on that subject, I am going to introduce a thing in my group. I've got visually impaired members, and I'm very keen on being inclusive when it comes to disabilities. So I am going to ask people in my group not to post memes and not to post text on a coloured or fancy background. Photos are fine with normal text, and normal text is fine, and but not memes and not those fancy background posts. And the reason for that is quite simply, my visually impaired members use screen reading software which reads the screen and reads out the text and describes the image, right? If you put a meme up there, they can't make out the text. The screen reader can't make out the text. Same if you use a coloured background. So it makes it an environment that is discriminatory, and I'm not cool with that. So obviously, any other group, do what the hell you want, but in mine, I'm going to ask people to not post memes and not post like the jokey type pics, etc. I don't know what other people use their groups for. Mine is intended as a community thing, so I want everybody to take part, but post something meaningful. Post something about yourself, about your life, about your day, and like you would with friends, don't just post generic meme-y, jokey stuff, because it's kind of meaningless. And I would hope that we're a community of friends. So instead of posting that, post something about your day, about how you're feeling. It should be a shared community where we're kind of there for each other. And I'm going to try and start doing more of that as well. Anyway, that's enough of that. We don't need to be talking about that. If you get hunted by JLC, you could just walk into a car park and it'd get distracted. Yes, good point. Oh dear. I love Uncle Hubnut, says Son of Boaty. Oh, and my son is 25 apparently. God, what was I doing 25 years ago? Or 25 years and 5 months ago? I would have been, hang on, let me work this out. Oh my God. I would have been 26, 27. Which means that I would have I would have been, I had the car dealership, I had the promotions company, and I was singing, which means, son, that if you narrowed it down to one calendar year, when I was around 26, 27, you've got about 400 potential mothers, and I wouldn't have a clue. I was a bit busy in those days, and I think I didn't have a serious partner. God, I'm trying to think through my history. Oh, well, what would I have been with Sasha? 26, 27. That would have been, hang on, 1971, 1977, 1997. I might have been with Sasha, or it might have been in my full-on tart years. God, you get confused, don't you? Yeah, I didn't. There were a few years when I was in my mid to late 20s where I was just sowing my wild oats. And then when I hit 30, I kind of became, that was when I went through a series of serious relationships. There was Leyoon, the original Chinese madam. There was Robin, Chicago. There was Ling Li, Chinese madam Mark II. There was Lisa, Cyprus and Exeter. Oh God, then there was Heidi. God, I'd almost forgotten about Heidi. Oh dear. And I've never told you any stories about her, I don't think. Oh, I might have. Oh God, there are some stories there. Dear me. And then there were some shorter terms ones, and then the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty came along, as I've told you before, when I was in Africa. Well, not when I was in Africa, but when I was based in Africa and came back to the UK for 10 days, 2 weeks. And yeah, so who's your mother, son? Tell me which one it was. I might not remember them, but tell me anyway, just out of interest. Oh, video title, yes. Boaty says, shit, stop, buy a helicopter, that will help you take off. Video title. Yeah, don't forget, guys, it is your job. God almighty, it's 1:45. God, flown tonight, hasn't it? It's your job to name the video tonight, so do come up with your ideas for a funny, pithy, witty, offensive, interesting name for tonight's video, and we will choose the winner just before we bugger off. We could do with a meet near your house, Boaty. Somewhere less car parky, but not totally in the wilderness. I'm totally up for that. I mean, if it was relatively near me, I'd happily do it every Sunday. So any suggestions, any ideas, I'm well and truly up for it. It's only the logistics that stop me from doing it. So yeah, if it was totally up for that. Mike says, well, I'm going to pop up to Gaydon, see my mate Paul, that's Mustard, and probably bump into some tossers. I imagine you will. Mustard says, I'm going to Gaydon, fuck Boaty. Yeah, that's it. Mustard's going to Gaydon, so you come and fuck me instead. He must be your son, says Steve, who can work the internet at 3 years old. Video title from Simon. Mark my words, Hub can't, but Cheeseburger did. Oh, screenshot that. I like that. You don't touch the family, only the chap. Quite right. Hubnut is not bigger than you, Daddy, says my son. He's 5'10". He's not bigger, his channel is. Is Mustard doing a live tomorrow, asked Barry. I haven't got a clue. Men having banter usually requires all parties to be present, surely. And memes are plagiarism. Oh, Simone's off, says goodnight. Keeping stuff in our own groups, says Simon, does stop us using each other's groups to grow, though. Well, yeah, but, you know, I suppose it does, but it's about looking after your subscribers and not spamming them with links to content and whatnot, isn't it? I mean, I guess if you have your own group, then you're setting sail, aren't you? You're putting your flag up, and that should be it, really. You know, if you want your own group, your own community, then great, go for it. Wish you every success, all of you, and hope it takes off. But yeah, you know, it just seems a bit of a cheek to want to have you. It's like having your cake and eating it too, isn't it? To want to have your own, but then to want to use other people's as well. Not that I was particularly bothered about that. I intended mine to be a community thing, but I'll be honest, I was getting pissed off because I'm a member of everybody's group. I support them absolutely. And when the same link is being posted in every group, it's all I'm bloody seeing. And it's just too much, and I'm sure it's too much for other people as well. It can't just be me, and it's going to put people off, I think. So, you know, I mean, everybody else can do what they want, but I'm just going to put my stuff in my group, and I'm not going to shove my stuff in other people's groups, because I don't think that's the way it should work. But, well, that's just me. Stigbürt says, I think son of Boaty is really Nigel Mansell. He got here by looking up his own name, Nigel. Hang on a sec, says Simone. Nobody needs to know my crap. How depressing, Boaty. I disagree. I think the point of having a community is to share a bit, and that means good and bad. And I think one of the benefits of having an online community is, whilst it can be a place to vent with the less good stuff, it's also a place to, the fact that you're putting stuff out to other people tends to make you want to put the best kind of slant on it. And if you do that with everything, put the best slant on things, then you actually improve your own day, your own life, and your own mental health. I mean, I can't speak for other people. I can only tell you what I would like for my community. And as far as I'm concerned, my community, whether it's my videos are one thing, you know, they're out there. Watch them if you want, don't watch them if you don't want to. Hopefully you get a laugh or whatever. Live streams and my Facebook community, as far as I'm concerned, they're a community of friends. And friends go through shit, and other friends are there to help them. So I don't think it's depressing to be able to share with your friends. I think it's empowering, and I think it's healthy, because in this modern social media age, you could be forgiven for thinking that that everybody's life is amazing, and they eat amazing food, and they go to wonderful places and whatnot. And it's not like that. That's just what they put out there. And there are plenty of, if that's what you want to do, fine. You've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've now got Threads. I'm on Threads, everybody. Boaty's World of Boaty. find me on there. I'm gonna give it a go. So you've got all of those things, but you know, for me, a community is friends, and that means sharing good and bad. And yeah, I think it's healthy that that you see that other people are going through shit exactly like you are, because take it from me, we're all going through shit. Whether we admit it or not, we're all going through shit. And I personally have found it quite cathartic and empowering to be honest and open about that. One of my long-term acquaintances dropped dead unexpectedly today, and I'm a bit, I'm a bit sad about that, and I feel a bit. Oh God, I'm going to have to use Latin with you. There's a Latin phrase, timor mortis conturbat me, and it means fear of death diminishes me. And when you reach a certain age, and friends and contemporaries and acquaintances are suddenly dropping dead or getting terminal diagnoses and whatnot, it gives you a bit of the old timor mortis, because you think, oh fuck, yeah, I'm really old. That could be me tomorrow. And you don't fixate on it, or you try not to. And you can't make sense of it. We're born, we die. How do you make sense of that? You make the best of the bit in between birth and death. So yeah, you don't want to fixate on it, and you don't want to, but it is there. It is kind of there. And that's the sort of thing that when you share it and have a bit of a laugh about it or whatever, and try and put it in some form of context, that can be cathartic and it can be helpful. And the one thing I do know for sure and certain is if you internalize, as Simone put it, all of your crap, if you internalize it and compartmentalize it, then it becomes a damn sight more powerful, because oh God, wine turds, your mind is a powerful thing. And if you allow these things to rattle about inside your head, and you keep them there, and you don't share them, then they're going to have a really, really serious effect on you. Whereas if you externalize them, if you share them to some degree, then the mere fact of sharing them lessens their effect on you, because they're no longer entirely in your head, they're out there. And that frees up a bit of space on your internal hard drive to let some better stuff in. We're back to the old ego, id, superego, maintaining a mental balance argument. But also, once you put them out there, then there will be mitigation. Because, first of all, other people will say, yeah, totally get that. I feel like that, or I totally understand it, or I have this, or my friend has this, or whatever. You're not going mad. You're not being overly dramatic. This is the kind of shit that some of us, many of us maybe, have to deal with, and yeah, it does have this effect. And then they might give you, I don't know, a bit of fluffing or coping strategies or mechanisms, or just distraction or whatever, and that will just mitigate it. So I don't think communities only have to be for light and fluff. I think they are a place where you can, a safe, relatively regulated and moderated area where you can share amongst friends, or that's what I want mine to be anyway. That was getting a bit serious for a Thursday night, wasn't it? I am here, Count, says Pingu. I do my due diligence. I know where all of you online peeps live. You probably do, Pingu. I believe that. Yeah, because you send stuff out to people. You've got all the addresses. You know, if the Russians ever want to get us, you'll be the man they go to and offer a large amount of money to. You've got all the secrets. Not that I'm a secret. Everybody knows where I am. Video title from Cheeseburger, New England. No. Oh, and son of Boaty says, I live in Malta. Well, your mother can't be Maltese. Well, if your mother's Maltese, then I'm not your father, because I didn't go to Malta until until just before my 40th birthday. Malta is a recent love affair, so I certainly wasn't there in my 20s. I wasn't anywhere in my 20s. Quite honestly, obviously in my late teens, I was living and racing overseas in Europe. But then from the age of 20 to just before 30, I didn't leave the country. I literally didn't leave the country because I worked. I worked every single day of the week, of the month, and of the year. And I didn't leave the country until I went to the States, I think the day before my 30th birthday. And then I just didn't come back to the country for about, well, I did, but only for visits. So then, then I lived overseas for about 5-6 years, various places. Come on, my Boaty, for a pottering. Exeter, says Cheeseburger, please tell us. Exeter. We lived between a little village called Rockbeer, just outside Exeter. Spent half the time there and half the time in a place called Pavolia, on the southern coast of the island of Cyprus, the Greek side of Cyprus, about 20 minutes drive from Larnaca. Pingu says, I don't even understand this. Pingu says, can we tone down the abuse to, I'm not reading that, to a certain YouTuber to be more friendly about the arsehole? Who's the arsehole? Good night all, says Matt. I'm off to be immature and play on the PlayStation. Toodles. And Pingu says, good night, long man. Oh God, it is that time, isn't it? It is that time. Cheeseburger says, good night, boat. See you on Monday. Take care, mate. I'll be very disappointed if Threads isn't a worldwide fan site for the film about dropping a nuclear bomb on Sheffield, says Simon. Do you know, I've never seen that. Is it on YouTube? I should watch that. Don't freeze your wine, says Simon. How about Cheeseburger's bedtime stories? I'm up for that. You write them, I'll read them. We'll do it on a Saturday night. We'll make it a thing. And I'll give you a free copy of the book when I make it into a book. Tales from the Hubnut Estate. Dinosaur Ross says, okay, the night shift's here. Hey all, whoever's left. What did I miss? Oh God, you'll have to watch it. Oh, she's from England, son. Fair enough. Oh God. Right. Everybody wants to go to bed. It's Thursday night. Let's start off. We've got to name it, haven't we? I think we'll go with, let me look at my screenshots. Where was it? Oh, hang on. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, yeah, here it is. And it's from Simon. So Simon has named tonight's video. And it's going to be called, mark my words, with a capital M, Hub can't, but Cheeseburger did. Brilliant. Well done, Simon. Thank you very much for that. God, there were 24 people watching at that point. How many are there now? Oh, let's press that. There we are. Night, Daddy. Hi all, just popping in for a moment while I have a couple of cigarettes. Oh God. Oh bless. Right, let's send some thoughts. Hi all, just popping in for a moment while I have a couple of cigarettes. Spending some time with my dad. He's not in a good way at the moment. Not long for him now. Oh, bless him. Oh God, may it be peaceful, and may you and your family have the strength to deal with the inevitable. And if you need us, you know where we are anytime. Right, that's it. We've named the show. And yeah, it's Thursday night, so that's it, isn't it? That's it. Obviously, you guys will all see each other. There'll be other live streams over the weekend, I'm sure. I'm not sure who's doing what these days. But have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy Gaydon, those of you that are going. And yeah, have a great weekend. Let's play you out. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. That's not like me, is it? Ah, here we are. There you go, darlings. Listen, all of you, especially those of you who are dealing with any sort of crap. Sorry for the word, but, you know, whatever. All of you who are dealing with anything, well, just all of you, full stop. Please, take care of yourselves. Have a safe and peaceful night. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will catch up with all of you on Monday. Much love to you all, and good night. See you next time.